Do we live in a democracy? You said that elites will always exist. So, it's a platitude. We say, right, we live in a democracy. Well, do we live in a democracy?
In the United States, no. As I argue in my book, United States is a plutocracy. Thanks to political scientists such as Martin Gilens in particular, who have done amazingly in a lot of work. To cut the long story short, they showed with huge amounts of data that if you take the preferences of they divided the American population into deciles. So if you take the lower 9 deciles, 90% of the population, take their preferences and try to see whether they have any influence on the legislation and policy that's adopted in Washington. Zilch, nada. It's not 10%. It's probably just that they didn't have data to refine it very closely. It's probably the top 1%. It's really top 1% that drives all the political decisions in the United States for reasons which are any sort of obvious once you start thinking about how the political process, how the sausage is made, in the United States. All right. But they have shown with numbers this particular result. So what kind of democracy is that does not really take into account the desires of the 90% of its population?
So analytically, it's a very strong argument to say that the United States is not a democracy.
Yeah, we have the democratic trappings, we have the elections, and many other things, but it's not working for the majority of the population as democracies should.